Hi, welcome to AllBrands After Hours with me, your host, Courtney Douthat. Welcome to the show where we hang out and craft together. Today we're testing ScanNCut hacks I found on the internet and seeing if they actually work. Let's do this. Now, if you didn't watch Thursday's AllBrands show, then this might look a little different to you. We have switched up the studio, changed it up a bit. I have a brand new table that I work on and a mat. It's so good. I am so excited about the new studio. As you can tell, we're also not done with the studio. I need to hang things need to be done. So we are still switching around, but it's getting there and I love it. And yes, I decided to keep the Avenir here with you guys because I love you. So, the Avenir is here, she's in her spot, and we're going to be doing a lot more videos with not only the ScanNCut, but with the Avenir and them playing together. But today we're testing hacks. Now, the first hack that I saw was taking cardstock, putting it together, so two pieces of cardstock, putting them together, putting that on your mat, and then telling your ScanNCut to do a half cut. If you're unfamiliar, a half cut is where we tell our machine, hey, I only want you to cut through half of this material, which is usually used when you're cutting out vinyl, so like pressure sensitive vinyl or heat transfer vinyl that has two different parts to it. So I guess they're trying to trick the machine to think that this is one solid piece and to have it actually just like almost do a kiss cut and cut it out, and then that way you get this two-tone effect. I personally don't think that this is gonna work. I feel like it's gonna wanna cut through both parts, or it's gonna at least score the second part, is my guess. And honestly, you could just cut one part and then do the other. Let's try it before I say too much. Now, usually with cutting cardstock, I would tell you to do a low-tack mat. However, my low-tack mats are getting a little grungy and I need to buy some new ones. So I have the standard mat that has seen better days. So I'm just gonna use that today. But usually you would use your blue low-tack mat when you're cutting out cardstock. Now, to put both of these together, you could just tape them or you could just old-fashioned glue it. I think I'm just gonna glue mine together. I think that might be just what we have to do. All right, so, what side do I want peeking out of where? I'm going to have this be the inside and then this be the topper, or do we want the other way around? This is when I wish I was live, then I could just ask you guys. So, all right, let's see. Yeah, I think that's what I want. So I'm gonna put glue on the edges of this whole thing. Okay, just around the edges, because the inside I think I'm gonna put a heart. But I'm making sure to put a good amount of glue because the way the ScanNCut works is it has a sticky mat, and the sticky mat is what holds it down. So this top layer that we're gonna put on isn't gonna have anything holding it, which makes me extremely nervous. Let's see, so if this slides in any kind of way while it's being cut, well, that wouldn't be too great. All right, let's line them up. All right, there we go. Cute. All right, so we've got that on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna go ahead and take my mat and then lay it on here. I feel like I should tape the corners. That way I give it its best chance, because I am very worried about that top part coming off. And even though I've glued it, I mean, the glue's still a little tacky. I could give it time to really, adhere on there. But I do think I'm gonna give it its best chance. So that way we can say, I did the hack as best as I possibly could. So I'm gonna tape the corners. Alrighty, so I have that taped. I don't know, this is either gonna go really well or not well at all. I'm not really sure. All right, let's go ahead. We're gonna load our mat. Alrighty, so we're going to go to pattern, and you can select whatever pattern you want, but I'm just going to come to my shapes just to give it a fighting chance. I'm not going to do anything crazy or complicated. I think I'm just going to do a heart. Let's see, let's do a heart. Hit OK. Alright, now I'm going to bring it to the center of my mat. I could scan my material in because of course I do have the scanning option, which is right here, but it was a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock, so I know it was big enough to go on here. So I'm going to hit edit, object edit. I am going to resize just a little up. There we go. Alrighty, let's hit okay. Why am I nervous? Hit okay. Okay again. Okay again. Please select, and we want to cut. Now, to be able to cut out my cardstock, I am using my black auto blade. It's kind of my multi-purpose blade, but I love to cut out paper with that blade. Alrighty, now half cut is already on because I did vinyl last, but if half cut hadn't been on, what I would need to do is hit the wrench icon right here, scroll down one, and then turn half cut on. But it's on already, so let's see if this hack works. Start. Again, I don't know. I want to be optimistic though, so I'm going to be optimistic and say that it's going to work great. It's going to be fantastic. Let's see. Here she goes. Okay, it definitely. Oh. Did you see that? Okay, so it cut it out, and when it got to right here, it went to pull back, and since this has nothing that it's holding down to, it like slipped up and got like ruffled up. So let's see. Did it cut the second layer? I think it scored it. I don't think it cut through, but still my top is all funny looking. Like, look. So it's like it didn't cut right there because it got crunkled up. I don't know if you can see it real well. It got crinkled up and funny. So I guess I'm gonna try to just pull that off. Oh, my heart's all messed. Oh, it was so perfect right until that part. That's unfortunate. Oh, that's sad. Okay. Well, I think if I take it off my mat. Oh, look, it didn't cut all the way through the other side. So technically it did work, but it did do what I thought it would do. It's got like a little kiss cut where like, let me see, I don't know if you can see that too well. It did kind of score it a bit. So technically, yes, it worked, but we did have that issue. So what I think I might do is put it back on my mat to give it a good fighting chance again. There we go. And maybe I'll have it cut out another heart in a different section to hopefully see if that part, if it was just like a coincidence that happened. I'm gonna tape that so that way it doesn't accidentally get stuck in my machine again. And then I have this issue. Oh, it would have been perfect. Oh, all right, let's put it back in our machine. So no one can say that I didn't give this hack a fair chance. I'm gonna hit okay, go back. I'm gonna take that heart, I'm gonna shrink it down just a little bit. Object edit, size, shrink her down. And I'm gonna come bring it into the corner over here. Shrink her down just a little bit more. All right, that way I can really tell if it actually works or if it was just a coincidence, all right? So hit okay, okay again, please select, cut, start. I don't know, I don't know, because of how odd that was. Part of me feels like it was just like a weird coincidence that it happened to catch and get jumbled up and stuck in the machine and then, you know, do that. Let's see. All right, here it comes around again. This is where she messed up last time. Okay, that time it did it great. Okay, so I think it was a fluke. All right, so now that we have that second one cut out, all right, let's see. Ooh. Okay, there was some glue right there that I had glued, but that wouldn't have happened right there. Okay, so it did work. It did work. That time it did work. Nothing accidentally got jumbled or anything. It did work that time. And how cute of a little heart. Valentine's Day, hello. And it did work here. So let's take it off the mat. And I want to see, did it do the kiss cut or did it cut all the way through that time that it did it perfectly? All right, let's see. Okay. All right, it did not cut through. I see a little bit of a cut here, like a little kiss cut. Let me show you guys up close. All right, so I don't know if you can tell. Like, do you see where it cut through? Just a little bit. Which, honestly, I don't think that really bothers me. You can barely see where it cut. Like, it didn't go all the way through, but it definitely scored it. Score is what I'm thinking. So, and that was from the tape. Ignore that. Let's see, in the front? Yeah, it's barely a kiss cut. I would say this worked. Would I feel like I wanted to use it for anything? Not really. I feel like I would just cut out, because it didn't do anything to the second piece. So I feel like I would just like take the little pink fabric, the striped one, have it cut it out, and then back it with that one. And I feel like this would be a lot easier. So yes, it worked. Is it Courtney approved? I would say no, because again, I don't see where I would use this personally. If you can think of a reason that you would use this hack, please let me know in the comments. I don't see where I could use it. So yes, it worked. Would I ever do it again? No, probably not. All right, the next hack, I have to remind you, like always, that I am Courtney, I am not Brother. So, and this is a fun little hack just playing. I am not telling you to do this. Just in case they're watching. All right, so Brother has 12 by 24 mats for the ScanNCut. So 12 by 24, which are huge. They're way bigger than the regular mats. And we all love these mats, but they only have them in a low tack, which is the one I have right here, the standard and the scanning mat. They do not have it in a fabric mat. And you guys know how much I love my fabric mats. So I saw a hack that someone did, and it wasn't on a ScanNCut mat, it was on a different brand. But what they did was they took two mats that were 12 by 24s and they cut them, like cut the top of one of them and lined it up and taped it on the back and like glued it together to make it a 12 by 24 mat and put it in their machine. So I have two fabric mats right here that I let someone borrow them and they ruined them. So it's totally fine. I'm not using these anymore. I need to throw them out. Really, I do, because they're just not usable anymore. So I thought, what perfect time to try this hack than with two mats that are already dead. That way you guys don't have to use your good mats. We can just do it with these like not great mats. I'm going to take them and like line them up, because I think they need to be the same size. I'm so nervous about messing up these mats, even though they're, ugh. It's just something with mats. I'm like, you don't cut them up, no. All right, so we've got that. Now, the way that your ScanNCut reads the mats, you've got these little bars at top right here that sit on the top of your mat. So your ScanNCut reads that, and that's how it knows what mat and what you're doing. So if you had a scanning mat in there and you told it to cut, it would be like, whoa, hold on. It doesn't matter what's cutting mats in there, it'll do any of those. But that way you don't accidentally cut a scanning mat. So the hack that I told them, I'm so nervous, is that they just cut right along the top right here. They cut that off and then glued or like taped, I don't know, I don't remember. I think I would probably tape the back of it and then maybe glued this part. So they kept this part, the bottom part of the mat. That way it had something to adhere to the bottom of it, but they did have to cut this part off because that way you get a continuous mat like how we normally would on a regular mat like this. So we're pretty much making this look like that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut off the top. And before anyone says something, these do say fabric, but they are not fabric anymore. They are really, really old. So I feel okay using it on this plastic. I need to take this label off because I do not consider these fabric anymore. Alrighty, and I have like a billion pair. All right, let's cut it off. I'm just gonna cut right underneath this black. So right where the white starts on this, like on this part, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. Oh, this feels so wrong. All right. Oh, that felt wrong. All right, so I've got that part. I don't need that part anymore. All right. So now we're going to butt it up like this, where it would start. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, so then it looks like a 12 by 24. How cool is that? Okay, so I'm gonna tape it. I would actually recommend like duct tape on the back of it because I think this clear tape is just not gonna hold it long term. If this was, you know, if it did work, I just don't think it would hold it. So I would think duct tape on the back would hold it way better. Oh my gosh, if you had a CM model ScanNCut, do you remember when we cut through the mats because we didn't have auto blade and we would duct tape the back of them? Because I used to. All right, let's see. So I'm just gonna tape where that little slit is. I'm even gonna tape where the opening is to hang it because that would also hold it. If this works, people are gonna be cutting up their mats and blaming me. Oh goodness. Yeah, duct tape. Duct tape would be way better for this. Okay. Okay, and I think I'm even going to tape off the side, like come to the corner right here, and then put it around like this, and then just like cut where it's not gonna go on the sticky part, like that. Yep, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll put 2. Because I don't want it to accidentally like bend, and like I'm worried that there's like this weird pocket. Like, I think you would have to use some kind of other tape, close up that pocket, because you don't want to be cutting something and then it grabs that pocket and opens it up, you know? All right. I don't know, it makes me nervous. I'm gonna also tape down here where the other part meets. All right, so we've got that on there. Yeah, the pocket's making me nervous. So I'm just gonna put some double-sided, I don't know. Because it's plastic, so it's not like you can use like regular Elmer's glue. It's not gonna hold it right. I have that zigzag stuff, but even then that makes me nervous. All right, and hot glue would be too thick. Super glue? Maybe super glue. Okay, I put some tape in there, and it did close up that pocket a little bit. All right, I could tape this until I'm blue in the face, but okay, looking from afar, guys, this is what a 12 by 24 fabric mat would have looked like. Brother, this is what we want. This is what we want. This would be so great. Okay, that's pretty cool. But is the machine going to read it? That's the question. All right. Oh goodness, I am so nervous. All right, let's see. Let's load. Okay. All right, so far so good, but it doesn't know that the other part's even down there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to go to the wrench icon and tell it that I have a 12 by 24, not a 12 by 12. Hit OK. OK again. All right, so now I can take this heart, bring it down here. See, I'm going to take this heart, bring it down, and I'm going to tell it to cut out right here at the bottom because I wanted to scan it through, like pull it into the machine and see if it goes down there and cuts. Okay, so I'm going to unload. I'm going to put this. All right, this mat's so dead, but it kind of has a little stick in this area. So I'm going to put it down here. If you did this with real fabric mats, like these are real, but you know, like ones that are like really sticky. All right, there we go. Would be good. All right, I have it on there. It's loaded in again. Okay, and I had the fabric in this area. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and use my rotary blade, surprise, surprise, because my rotary blade is very careful with fabric. So, and again, these fabric mats that I'm using are so awful. So I just want to make sure. So please select. We want to cut. I'm so nervous. All right, let's hit start. Oh no! It says replace the mat with a 12 by 24-inch mat. Do you think it's reading the top? Okay, let's try it again. Okay, start. Oh, it's not letting me because it's reading the top of the mat and it knows that it's a 12 by 24. Is there a way to trick it? All right, so it thinks that I have a fabric mat that is a 12 by 12 mat. So it's telling me, hey, you can't do this. Part of me wants to cut off the top of this old mat and put it on there and see if that could trick it. Because if not, then you would have to cut the inside of it and glue that. Do we try that? This is a really old mat too. I say we try it. Say it. Don't ever say I didn't do anything for you. There we go. All right, we're gonna try it. I'm gonna cut the top of this. Now, at this point, is it worth it? No, I don't think it's worth it at this point if you're having to cut up multiple mats. If you're, and I have a lot of mats, so yes, I have mats that I have that I don't really quote unquote care about, and I could do this, but if you didn't, so you see how this fabric mat, this is the low tack one, 12 by 24. If you didn't, then I feel like this would be a little bit of a waste. So I'm gonna tape this down just because at this point I'm curious and I've gotten this far that I want to see how far I can go. But at this point, I don't really think it's worth it. If only Brother would come out with a 12 by 24 fabric mat, that would be great. All right, but just to see if we can, I'm just gonna tape this together. Now, if you did have a 12 by 24 mat that you no longer cared about and you wanted to try this, then by all means do what you want. But I just want to see if this works. It's one of those things where it's like, if I've gotten this far. By doors, no one can say that I didn't do my due diligence trying to get this hack to work, okay? No one can say that, because I have. All right, let's see. Here it goes. All right, she loaded in. Start. Oh, it's working! Oh my gosh, that's crazy! It's working! Why do I feel like I like made Frankenstein over here? All right. All right, it didn't cut through, and I wonder if it's because it thinks that it's on a low tack mat and it's not like putting enough pressure. I don't know. Okay, I want to try it again, and maybe instead of with my rotary blade, I'll do my thin fabric blade. Let's try that. I'm giving it its best effort here. It didn't cut. Why? Like, it scored it, but it didn't like cut through like my rotary blade always does. All right, let's see. Oh, it's because half cut's on. Wait, quit cutting. Okay. Well, half cut wouldn't have shown up for the rotary blade, but it would show up for the thin fabric blade. I don't know why. I've never had to do that. But I'm gonna turn it off. I don't think that would have affected the rotary blade though. Sure. All right. Again, no one can say that I didn't do this. I like gave it its fighting chance on this one. Okay. Let's see. That is crazy. Okay, it's cutting. And it looks like it's cutting all the way through. Alright. The fact that this is feeding into my machine is kind of crazy to me. Alright, let's see. Again, it didn't cut very well. Like, it scored it and cut in areas. Like, it cut in areas of it, but it didn't cut all the way through. I'm going to try a different piece of fabric and a different part of my mat just to see why that's happening. Alright, I'm going to move this over here towards the bottom. Okay, hit OK. All right, please select. We want to cut. I'm going to try the rotary blade again, just because I believe in her. Start. I'm giving this its fighting chance. I'm like wondering if it's because it's a low tack mat that it thinks it's reading. So should I have done it with a standard? Okay, let's see. Oh gosh, you're so long. Okay, pull it out. Okay. Okay, that time it worked. It must have been something over there. I mean, when I tell you this mat is grubby. Okay, it worked. It worked. It did work. Let's see. All right, I'm just gonna take it off. It worked, and it did beautifully. Okay, I'm so conflicted. I think it was something, like, I'm looking at this mat and there's something on there. I think that's why I didn't cut originally, because I ended up switching back to my rotary blade, and it did great. Final thoughts on this hack. Yes, it worked. But again, we had to go through a lot to get to this point. We had to cut up 2 mats. which, I mean, a lot of us don't have a bunch of mats just sitting around to do this. And the fact that you need the topper, like the top part of one of the 12 by 24 mats, so you couldn't do it with the scanning mat because it's not going to cut, so it's going to read it and not cut it. So it would have to be a low tack or a standard mat. We realized it could be a low tack mat. So if you have an old 12 by 24 mat that's a standard or a low tack, I say do it. I know. Okay, if your brother, I did not tell them to do that. I did not, because I know they're gonna be like, it voids a warranty. I don't know. But it did work. It did work, and it would be nice to have a 12 by 24 fabric mat. So I'm gonna leave that up to you. Leave in the comments, do you believe that this is approved or should it not be approved? I'm gonna say Courtney approved because it did work, and I am now debating doing this with 2 good fabric mats because I already have the topper. So I might do this with 2 good fabric mats and put this topper on it and use them. And then I can always pop the topper off and put it on some new ones down the road too. But like, look, this is what it would look like if we had a 12 by 24 fabric mat. like this would be my pride and joy right here. So this one is so gunky and ruined. So that's why I cut these up and I felt comfortable to do this. And part of me really wants to do this with some regular ones. So again, I'm going to say Courtney approved. I'm sorry. So the next hack is actually using a glue pen in the universal pen holder. So the universal pen holder looks like this. This is used for whenever you want to use pens in your ScanNCut that are not the Brother pens, because that would go in this. And this always comes with your machine. So those you just click open and then the small little Brother pens can fit into there. But if you notice, the top, it does not have a big enough opening for a regular pen. So that's where the universal pen holder comes in, because there is an opening that you could put your regular pens in there. So the hack is that you would take a glue pen, put it in there, and then have it draw on some paper or whatever you want it to foil on, and then just put your foil down onto the paper to see if it sticks. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to write on the back of this paper right here to get the glue pen started, because I feel like we need to make sure we get a good bit of it. All right, she's ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead, put my universal pen holder in its little case that it comes with. So that way when I drop the pen down inside of it, it will actually hold onto the pen. So I'm going to open it up. You just turn it. It slips down. All right. So once it's touching the bottom right here, I'm going to go ahead and lock it down so it's holding my pen like that. Pop it off and she's ready to go into my machine. All right. And it goes in the same little slot area that all of your cutting tools go into. Go. Alrighty, so I'm going to go to pattern, and now I can use any of these to draw, but there are drawing patterns in your ScanNCut right here. So any of these can be a drawing one. There's just one line designs. So I'm going to select this one right here, hit set. All right, that looks great. Let's hit OK. Please select, and I want to draw. Okay, so I'm putting a piece of construction paper down. Courtney, why are you using construction paper? Because in my head that this is going to at least retain some glue. If I put it on like a slick cardstock, it might, like, the glue might not stay on there as nice. So I'm giving it its best fighting chance. Alrighty, I'm gonna go ahead and load it in my machine. All right, and hit start. Well, it's definitely drawing it on there, which is always good. All right, so it is working. I don't feel like a lot of glue is coming out. Whenever you use the foil kit, it asks you how low the pin is, like how much glue is in there, and what, because they're like numbered. And this one, it doesn't have the option to do that, so which makes me feel like I don't know if this is gonna work, because it's really not putting down a lot of glue. Oh, there it goes. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and unload. Okay, so before I even take it off my mat, I'm just gonna keep it on my mat and try this. Alrighty, so we've got the glue where it drew it right here, and I'm just going to take my foil and put it down. Ooh, my foil is not really big enough for this design, but let's try. All right, Now usually with the foiling kit, you have this tool that actually goes and like pushes it down on there. So, but I don't want to use that because what if you didn't have that tool? I don't want to cheat. So, just doing like this. Nothing. Oh no. Okay, well maybe, let's see. Will this tool help? Okay. Nope, didn't do anything to it. All right. Huh. This makes me think maybe this wouldn't work. Now to give this hack its best fighting chance, I do have the glue stick in there, the Brother one, so I'm going to try to do this like I normally would. So please select, and then this time I'm gonna foil glue and see how it asks me about the pen. So I'm gonna say that it's down to a 2. All right, everything looks good, and hit start. And I'm gonna do that same design again, but I'm gonna see, does it put out more glue? Because I think that's what the problem was. It didn't really put out much glue. Let's see. Oh, it is. Okay, I do see it is putting out a little bit more glue. All right, let's see. All right, moment of truth. Let's put the foil on there. I don't feel like it put enough glue still. I don't know. Oh yeah, it's not sticking. Yeah, it's not sticking at all. There's nothing coming off. And I'm trying my best. Alrighty, I would consider this a hack fail. It did not work great for me. If you've had it work great for you, please let me know in the comments how you managed to do it, but it did not work great for me. I think that there just wasn't a lot of glue coming out of there. So I don't think it was working great. So if you've got like a really juicy glue stick or a glue pen that can go in there, maybe it would work for you, but this one did not work for me. Alrighty, so I've had a lot of fun testing some hacks. Some worked, some didn't. Let me know down in the comments which hack was your favorite. Was it the 12 by 24 fabric mat? I'm still not over this. That tells you how much we want it, brother. We're making our own over here. Was it the 12 by 24 fabric mat? Was it doing the half cut with the cardstock, which technically did work? Let me know. Or was it the foiling that didn't really work? So let me know down in the comments which one was your favorite and which one you're going to try. And if you have any hacks you'd like me to try on the next video, put them down in the comments. I'd love to try them. And I don't forget to tell you guys that this coming weekend, I will be at the Joy of Quilts show, and I will leave that information on the screen. So I will be there both Friday and Saturday at the Joy of Quilts, and we'll be hanging out, doing some cool demos in the booth, but also playing with the new Avenir, because I'm going to bring her with me. So definitely come out and see us if you are in that area and you want to come hang out with me at the Joy of Quilts show. I will be there again both days, hanging out, having a blast, as I always do. Don't forget that the Brother ScanNCut, as well as tons of other products, are available on our website, allbrands.com, as well as, again, a ton of awesome things. And when you do purchase through us, thank you. We truly appreciate that. And I am seeing some of y'all's comments get forwarded to me when you write them on your order or when you leave a feedback and y'all are like, Courtney's awesome. Those get forwarded to me. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate that. Or whenever one of you put that Courtney is the best thing of all brands, that went straight to the owner. So thank you for that. All right, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe because it's the easiest way to let us know that you guys want more of these videos. Y'all have a good night. Bye, y'all. Testing, testing. Oh, okay. We have audio. Oh, that was concerning. That would have been bad. That would have been bad. Again, that wouldn't even be the first time. I don't want to take my jacket off. It's cold in here. But if I don't, you're going to hear. I'll hide it back there like a blanket. Do this. Or fabric mat would have looked like. I'm sorry if I keep looking up there. That's where my monitor is. I know y'all are here. Don't come for me, brother, please. Stick on.
There, this is what I get for cheating on my foiling kit. Get on there. Foiling kit would never do this.